Hello you guys, welcome back again. And this video is gonna be a Q&A because I left the questionnaire on my Instagram and I let you guys ask me some questions, so that's what I will answer today. Firstly, I'm gonna just answer some general questions that people ask because y'all have asked how old am I and what's my actual name. My actual name is Victoria, and I'm 21 years old. And I've been trading for slightly over 3 years, okay? These are the most general and mostly asked questions here, but let's move to the actual trading questions. And of course, the next one, guess what it is? It is, what's your strategy? What strategy I use? I already made a video about it. I already talked about it a lot of times. And for people who are not really aware of what I trade, for the most part, I trade Solana. I love it with all my heart. It has great price action, and also it's amazing for holding on spot, for just generally investing because it's not a huge coin and recently has dropped to pretty low points, so you could buy even more of it, and once it grows you have amazing returns, so we love that. But for my strategy, like I said, I do use support resistance. I think that's something that works super good for crypto. But also I use areas, just generally any liquidity areas, let's say like previous like lows. For example, if the price drops, like currently crypto market has been dropping and it has dropped to not a resistance zone below, but it was just a liquidity area because earlier, way earlier, the price has made a significant low there. Okay, and I say significant because it's on a high time frame. It was like daily time frame, or I think, yeah, that was daily time frame. So this is a significant low where we have a rest in liquidity. So not only I use just purely support and resistance, but also overall any significant liquidity areas, because technically support and resistance are also liquidity areas, but they have higher accumulation of liquidity because price has stopped by on those areas multiple times, not just once. It's not just low or high the price has made. These are multiple lows or highs the price has been making, so there's a lot more of liquidity accumulated. Okay, first off, liquidity sweep, we never forget about that. It's a turning point, it's like a fueling point for the price. Liquidity sweep, of course. Then I can wait for an order block to be formed, price to come back to an order block, and then break of structure to the opposite side from this order block. Works like a charm every single time. Love that. Or sometimes price doesn't do that. Something the crypto market, and I'm gonna be saying specifically about Solana as well, because I usually only check the Solana chart, but pretty much I can say it's similar for all of the cryptocurrencies, that Solana, it doesn't have much of retracement. So let's say if it pushes up from a resistance area, if it reverses to the upside, it gives you barely any retracement, especially on the higher time frame. So sometimes waiting for a retest of an order block, especially in the high time frame, you may not get that. So what I also really love to use in these cases, obviously you don't know when the price is gonna do that or not, if it's gonna come back to an order block or not, but what I love to do is, if I see on any of the key areas, if there is a liquidity sweep and then there's an engulfing candlestick formed, I can already consider this as a pretty good identification that we can place either long or short position. Okay, so this is a pretty good confluence, but I wouldn't say it's enough. So I would probably wait for another. Let's say if I'm looking for a buy position and I see an engulfing candlestick to the upside, an engulfing bullish candlestick, I'll probably wait for another good push up for that other candlestick to close, and then it's gonna be enough for me to place a long position. Okay, so don't just hop in a trade if you see an engulfing candlestick. Next question is, do you have a trading course teaching how to day trade? No, I don't. I am not really willing to make any course, at least for now, because even if I ever, let's just hypothetically think about it, even if I ever make any course, this gonna be more like a mentorship. I don't want to just record a video and give you guys like papers, like PDF files for you to learn it yourself. I would rather, let's say, take like, I don't know, maximum 5 people in one go, maybe like 3 people, and have like a proper mentorship, explaining things, practicing a lot. So that's the thing that I would do, but I think I'm just a lazy person. I don't know, it's kind of difficult for me to like put all my knowledge into like a clear, so it's clear for everybody. Like I have it all sorted out in my head, but to explain everything I understand, everything I see, I know, it's a little tricky for me. So maybe I'm not gonna give you an answer. Will I ever have a mentorship? I might and I might not. I don't really know, because I just share information, all like literally the stuff I know, just like that, online. I do have a lot of people actually texting me that, well, that would be nice if I could learn from you. I would love to share my knowledge like that and actually, keep other people accountable for learning how to trade and everything. But for now, that's all you guys can get, fortunately or unfortunately. But I don't have any mentorships or anything like that. Next question is, how do you deal with, like, I'm seeing the trade, my setup forming, but I'm too early in it? You don't take it. You don't hop in a trade too early, because I used to do that too, and still sometimes I still, till this day, this happens to me as well from time to time. Don't hop in that trade. If you already see some confluences, your setup forming, again, you have to remember that you are predicting stuff. But the main point in trading is you have to trade what you see, not what you think will happen. Because out of a habit, you already see some patterns in the market, and you already kind of know how the market can behave here and there, but you are still trading like the prediction, not the actual thing that is currently on the market. Oh, you guys just got a Solana alert. But my point here is that you have to trade solemnly what you are seeing on the charts, not what you think or what you expect to happen. You don't trade the expectation, because this way you're gonna lose that trade. Most likely. If you get lucky, you're gonna win it, but most likely not. So wait for all of the confluences to occur in the market. But if you're seeing your setup is forming, keep your eye on it, okay? Watch out, wait for the final confluence to appear for you to be, okay, well, I have all of my confluences. Only then you can place your trade. Trading is a place where you should be on time. Never early. You can be a little late, that's fine, but not too late to not get a FOMO, okay? In trading, you should be strictly on time with your entries, okay? If you are too early in the entry, you didn't have all of the confluences, so you're breaking your rules, right? So don't. If you see your setup forming, wait for it to form completely, then hop in it, okay? Next question, how to start trading as a whole beginner who doesn't even know the words of trading? Well, this question I think is what I always get all the time. It never stops. I do have a guide for trading. I'm gonna leave it below, and I also have it linked in my Instagram. I have a guide where I gave you guys things to look at if you're a complete beginner, absolute zero knowledge in trading. Terminology, the most common terminology that you have to look at, that you should learn, different names of strategies, so you can have a variety to choose from, because there's no one just only one strategy that works. There are a lot of them. For everyone, it's a different strategy that may work. So these are like the screenshots from that guide, so you can see approximately what it is, but I'm gonna leave it here. But one thing is the terminology you will learn along the way, okay? But your most important task is to look at the strategies, see what makes sense on theory, And if you just like, if it just makes sense to you visually, okay? If it doesn't make sense, don't try to like force it on yourself. Look at different strategies. If you are still not able to apply it obviously like on the charts, but you do understand, you do kind of make sense to you visually, and what you hear, what you see when someone explains, try to learn that strategy, okay? In trading, you don't have to force anything on yourself, because like I heard one day someone said that finding your strategies is like finding your soulmate. You should like, it just should make sense to you. Also look at the kinds of market you want to trade, because there are crypto market, there is indices, valuable metals, oils, so basically futures market, options, stocks. These two I've never been familiar with them like that never been invested in them, but these are all the markets you can trade, so look into all of that. My best advice is to try, let's say, trading Nasdaq, day trading Nasdaq, and you can also try swing trading crypto. For crypto, my only suggestion is Solana, because that's my favorite currency. It has great price action, and of course the psychological part is gonna take you the longest time to figure it out, because you can figure out your strategy in a month or two and like perfect it, but the psychological part is gonna test you a lot. So here you have to develop the patience, not being greedy, waiting for your setup to form, actually polishing all of your skills and knowledge and everything. So these are the things that you really have to look at. It seems like it's not much to learn, but I think the psychological part is gonna take up the most of time for you to actually become a really, really good trader. I can also leave a channel here where I learn the most. This specific playlist, this kind of like course thing, whatever, I've learned how to read candlesticks. Trading clean price action is one of the best things you can do, okay? Again, learn how to read the candlestick so you know how, like, why the market behaves like this. So I learned it from here. Pretty good source of information, especially the earliest videos. Also, we all say about the TGR's bootcamp. I think it's really great for trading indices, for day trading indices. It's like the smart money concept. I think it's only good for indices if I'm being honest, so this one as well. But it has a pretty good psychology. I did watch some parts of it earlier, and I do think it's a good for the psychology and everything, so these are the sources that I can personally recommend. Have you ever thought of trading Forex? When I was just starting, I had a thought of it, but I just kind of stuck with the crypto market and pretty much with Solana. I don't think I want to trade Forex like that. I think the Euro USD pair, also I think the Japanese yen and USD have really good price action. It's pretty clean actually. It has very steady trends, like uptrend, downtrend. It has pretty clean price action, and it's, I think, really good for day trading. But for me, I don't really want to trade Forex. I want to get into trading Nasdaq even more and stay with Solana. So these are the only two things I'm actually willing to trade. Do you live full time of trading? Yes, but I also have a job. I do eyebrows in a salon, but it's more like, it's not a full-time job. It's just a part-time, only because I don't live in my mother country, and for that matter I have to be a legal person, right? So I have to work here too for just the paper purposes, for the documents. So that's why I chose to get a certification for doing eyebrows, because it took me only 3 days, but it took me some time of practice obviously to get better at it. But I really love it because I do like painting or drawing from time to time, so like painting eyebrows is kind of like a fun thing for me too. Plus the beauty sphere, I think it's something girly, and I kind of like it, so that's also why. Plus it kind of helps me to just be in the society a bit more, because of trading you just can sit home, not go anywhere, and sometimes it gets a bit boring, so it kind of makes my life a bit better. But pretty much I make most of my living off trading, and I'm very grateful for that. Another question is something that I already answered in the previous one, like in one of the other questions, but can you recommend any mentors or videos, or how did you learn? So like I said, these ones you can screenshot. These ones, the top one is where I've learned the most of information. The TGR's one is good for the psychology. I used to watch it a bit when I had to fix up my psychology and remind some things, but it's also good for day trading. And I did watch like whatever he was, like the technical parts of his videos whenever I decided to get into trading Nasdaq, so it did help. I think these are really good. For anyone watching this video, for anyone who can recommend anything else for people asking this question, feel free to comment that to help other people out to learn, because I only really know these two good sources. I never really used anything else, just the rest just came with practice. Next is an interesting question. What if in the future someone rich or high fame offers you to be partner in her business? Will you? I don't know, really. I never even thought about it. It depends what kind of business. It depends who this person is. But if it's a good opportunity for me to also learn more, grow more, I guess, but it really depends what kind of business it is. If it's something related to trading, I guess. About the high fame person, I don't know. For me, I really would rather make something like a business project, whatever, with, let's say, my best friend, for example, right? Because she also trades, and I think that would be cool, right? For me, it's a lot more pleasant to work with people that I already know how they are and everything. But if it's someone I'm not really like aware of their like values, morals, of their like views on things, so it's very much so not likely. The last question is, do you only trade crypto, and what sessions do you trade? I primarily trade Solana, so yes, I do primarily trade crypto, but I also try to get into NQ more. And what sessions I trade for crypto, obviously you cannot really trade any sessions, you don't need that. Plus I swing trade Solana, only swing trade. I think it's actually one of the best things you can do for crypto, because it's good to hold trades for longer time on the crypto market, at least it's my opinion on that. But for the NQ, I trade the New York session. My time, it opens at 3:30 p.m., which is great. I'm very much so awake at that time and very active, so I don't really imagine how people would be like in the morning, straight after opening their eyes and trying to figure stuff out on the charts. For me, good for me, it's a midday, so usually it's the New York session, the AM session. I know there's also a PM session. Actually, I did start to study a lot more about the sessions, because I only really knew about the New York session, but I know that usually people say there should be an Asia lower high liquidity sweep, etc, etc. But I also want to try maybe trading during the London session, because I think it would be pretty good too. But for now, it's only the New York session, the AM one. I definitely did gain a lot more of understanding of like generally overall of like offset. Whoa, I did get a better understanding generally about all of the sessions that are there, and I never really been too familiar with the Asia high or low liquidity sweeps or London low or high liquidity sweeps. But now that I understood it, and I actually also put the indicator of these sessions on my charts, actually, I think I'm starting to figure it out even better. So I am trading, like I said, primarily, and I will continue trading primarily the AM New York session. I also want to try trading the PM one, because I did hear it's pretty good too, so I want to give it a try as well. But also I want to try maybe the London one, just to see how that works. And I will be back testing all of that information. So whenever I learn something valuable, whenever I can put it together into something good, I will definitely share it either here on YouTube or on my reels or shorts here, but I'll definitely share with you guys. But thank you so much, guys, for asking these questions. That's all for this Q&A video. If you have any further questions, you can ask them in the comments. And also I'll leave my Instagram below because I'm the most active there. I post every single day, a lot of things there. So if you're interested in even more things about trading, how I explain it, how I see trading, etc., follow me on Instagram. I would appreciate it a lot. But thank you so much, and I will see you in my other video. And if you want to see any specific videos, you can also comment the ideas below because I've been needing them sometimes. Sometimes I just run out of all of video ideas. But thank you so much for watching if you have come this far, and I'll see you in my other videos. Bye bye.